Mike Owens with Inside Fighting, and I'm joined today by Mick Parkin, who returns to action at UFC London facing Marcin Tybura. Mick, always a pleasure, my mate. How are
Yeah,
emotions out of your return?
cheers, good, yeah, good, all good.
Before we start, a little bit of a note for the American audience. This is going to be a difficult one for them
Definitely.
to notice with a Scouser and a Northeaster, but
Have you got subtitles?
we're going to need
Yeah,
subtitles, I think, for this one. Before we talk about this fight, let's talk about the last one.
yeah,
UFC 304. Career best performance for you?
yeah, definitely. To get a finish, the bonus, to be Manchester, like so close to home, I think everything was perfect, really.
Mm.
Take some beating.
Yeah, 100%. Because the first couple have obviously been by in the UFC at least have been by points. Is it
Yeah.
a case of rising to the occasion a little bit? When the lights shine brightest, if you will.
To be fair, I was never like some people got really nervous the first one, but I did feel pretty calm in most of them. But I think it was just me potentially getting better. Like my coach were working on a few things, and I was maybe hitting people with one or two punches, but not following up. So we really worked on the last one, hitting like the threes and fours and stuff like that. I always worry about defense first. It's always the thing. So maybe I wasn't taking them risks, but we started like trying to take the risks while we're still relatively safe. So we worked on that loads, and obviously it come. I did think I would finish him. I did think I would be on the floor. I thought it'd be like beating him down and like beating him up on the floor. So obviously to get on the feet was even better.
What did you spend your double bonus on? Your $100,000?
Well, to be fair, I'm not flash. I didn't really buy anything. I do always treat myself. Well, it's like something like a Xbox game or something stupid like that. But I have just on the process of like buying my first house with my girlfriend. So it's going towards that really.
Brilliant, mate. You said you're not particularly flash. What's the flashiest thing that you own? What's the one thing that you maybe you spent a little bit too much money on?
Maybe not much, I would struggle to think like I literally didn't buy it. Probably is like a pair of Crocs I bought myself a pack, but then these were a gift from my girlfriend's mum. So like I'm all for the freebies, mate. I'm all for the freebies. I promise I'll get myself something nice after this one.
You're a man after me on heart. After the last fight and the last win, did you feel like how emphatic it was? Did you feel like it would be somebody like a Marcin Tybura, a guy who's so established and who's done so much in the division that would be next for you?
I didn't think it would be a jump as Tybura up the rankings because obviously I think he's 8th or 9th rank now. I did think it would be because obviously I always say take me time, but at heavyweight, like there's not many. That's you just get pushed that quicker. Yeah. So I had that fight. Was waiting for a fight, and then I did think maybe it would have been. I wasn't ranked after that. I got pushed in. That's what I mean. People I'm ranked. I got sort of pushed into the rankings, but maybe it's off a few people losing or leaving the UFC. Didn't feel like I'd like earned the spot into the rankings. If that makes sense. When people say you're buzzing, I was like, not really. It's like cool to see it, but like until this will be like me official, I think coming into the rankings. But yeah, I thought it might have been like a lower down, maybe the 15th ranked. Obviously, I went 13th ranked, so I did think it maybe it would be like 11th to 12th, 10th. But it made sense. It was London, a nice fight. Obviously, he's like an absolute veteran. He's just come off a good win himself.
Yep.
A really good win. So I just thought it made sense. I had a good win. He did. It's main thing. It's in London, the UK, and I think now it's good because I've managed to like maybe jump over the 15th and 10th ranked and go straight into the top 10. So we'll see where I'm ranked after this.
How much do you anticipate the step up in competition to be? Do you think it's going to be a big gap from the guys that you've been fighting?
He's definitely the hardest fight. There's no mistakes about that. But it's more of his experience, I would have said. He's had like, I think I looked, he'd had like 20 fights in the UFC or something. So like, you're not going to be bad having 20 fights in the UFC. Yeah. And it's just like his experience, like his last fight showed if you make a mistake or you think you've got him hurt or done, there's always a chance these veterans can like stay in. So I know it's going to be a hard fight and I've got to be switched on. Probably make mistakes. He's been in with everybody. He's done everything. So he's probably seen everything.
He's also played spoiler a couple of times before. When you think about his first fight with Sergey Spivak, you think about Taito Ivasa, you think about Greg Hardy. What have you took from those fights that you feel like you can take into this one and not let him do that to you?
Yeah, well, that's the thing with him because he can actually grapple a little bit for heavyweights, while most heavyweights don't fall back on that. Why he has. I do think Saturday he will try to wrestle me. I'd have thought. I've thought about a lot of fights and no one actually has. But I do think he'll mix it up. I do think I'm a lot better than him, but he's big. I say this to everybody, but everyone knows that he's a big guy. Anyone can knock anybody out. I do think I'm a lot better than him everywhere. But like I said, he's crafty. Like you said, the spoiling fight. So I do think I'm a bit too good for him on the feet. And that is a problem. I train with some of the best in the world. Whether it's like I train with Tom Aspinall. Obviously, my main training partner is like Phil DeFries, who's probably one of the best grapplers in the planet. I feel like heavyweight grappling. So like need to respect the Tybura, but I don't think anyone's as good as Phil, and I'm doing good with him, so it brings me confidence to think if he does take on the grappling side, like I've said it before.
What is it? Is there one thing you feel like you do better than everybody else at heavyweight?
The main thing I think for me for the heavyweight is I think my technique's maybe is a little bit better than the rest of them. I think I always like think about my defense, stuff like that. I'm always thinking about like one shot can be over, so I'm always trying to not take any punches. Obviously, it's impossible in a fight. Yeah. That's always the goal. But just the technique, I really, really hammer the technique. I don't try to like too much of like knocking people out's my main thing or being heavy on top. I just think my technique is what gets us through my fight.
Yeah. We've talked about this a few times before, and you kind of touched on it then in the sense of like, because the heavyweight division is slightly shallow, you've probably been pushed up these rankings faster than you would have been if you were, say, a lightweight or a bantamweight. With that being said, what do you feel like a win unlocks for you on Saturday night? Do you feel like it will be a continued push up the rankings, or what? Because it is a shallow division to an extent.
Yeah, like I said, I've always said like take me time. Obviously, this is like a big fight and it's a big push up, but it depends. I don't know how the rankings work. Like I'm 13th now, I think, or 14th. But I don't know if I'll automatically jump to 8th of beating Marcin. So like I might only jump to like 12th or something. I might jump to 11th, and it depends what the UFC wants. Because people were saying like, oh, it's good to have a name after. Obviously, I was like, I need to get past him first. But like I might jump to like 7th ranked, and then I've called somebody out who's then like 14th ranked, and I'd be like, call somebody out right down low. Yeah. Or like I might only jump up like 1 or 2. So I need to see where this fight leads us first. And to be fair, the UFC have been really good with us, of how they've matched us. I think like the first couple of fights have all been fair fights. This is definitely a step up, but like I definitely think it's at the right time. So I just see what them want to do with us, really.
What happens if Tom Aspinall, whether he gets this John Jones fight or not, becomes undisputed champion and you become #1 contender? Have we got a Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier situation where someone's going to drop the 2?
This is the question they'll be asking us now, and obviously no one thought about it now. But like the way I think, I've still got potentially 13, 12 people to beat to get there. I've got to get through all of them first, and then hopefully by that time he has got the John Jones fight, got loads of money, and hopefully he's buggered off and I can fight for the belt then.
He's obviously a couple of years further forward in his journey. What have been the key takeaways that you've took from Tom in his journey? Because it's a lot of similar opponents, and you're fighting the same guy who he fought in the same arena, and knocked out in just under 100 seconds. So what have been the key takeaways from Tom's game and Tom's career that you feel like you can take?
It's just like he was great to have around. Obviously, I was new when I come to the UFC. I didn't know what was going on, and like he was always helpful with me fights and stuff like that. Help like do this, try that. But then from the aspect for it, when I first come, my first fight in London, I got here, and I think was he fighting? Yeah, was Tybura when my first fight in London? Did he fight Tybura then?
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, so he was here, and he was like fight week telling us everything. So it was like, oh, if you go and see the PIs, they'll give you meals. Like I wouldn't have knew that. Or go see the other woman, like the other person there, that like they give you like physio all week and stuff like that. Well, like I didn't know anything about that. What he said the first time he come to the UFC, he probably missed a few things out. What he didn't know, what he's learned from it, and like told me. So I sort of got like inside information. And the first fight, maybe there might not be as many eyes on me because I trained with Tom. I felt like I got like a bit of a push, like the way I got interviewed and people asking about us, which is always good as well.
Amazing, mate. Well, last question from me. Give me a walkthrough of fight day on Saturday as you envisage it. What happens in a perfect world as you visualize the fight?
I'll obviously wake up, have some breakfast, like chill out. Like it's just waiting about all day really. I think this is an earlier card though, isn't it? I think it starts like 4 or 5 or something. So it's a bit earlier, so there's not too much waiting about. I think I'm like 4th or 5th fight on, I think I saw up now. So I get up, go for breakfast, like try and chill out. Sometimes I might try and have a little nap during the day, have a little sleep. And that's it really. I just like don't do much. Eat. I might do some mega like hitting pads, maybe. It just depends how I feel. And then I just go to the venue. I just try and keep it quite chill. Like me and my friends, the corner team, they'll be like there all week and train. Like we've actually brought we always bring Nintendo Switch with us, so we'll just play Mario Kart all week. That's my fight week. I literally try and beat my coach in Mario Kart all week. That's it.
I love it, mate. Well, look, always a pleasure catching up. Great to see you in this next fight. Have a great and safe rest of camp and best luck for the next.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Cheers.